Hi friends, I'm Joe Hopkins, and this is 5 Minutes to Make Sense of the Bible. Today we focus on Job, chapters 1 and 2, which begins the challenging story of Job. In my experience, the book of Job is not very common in sermons, Bible studies, or Sunday school lessons, so don't feel bad if you are unfamiliar with Job. Let's get going, and I'll offer a brief summary, then share some context and connections for these chapters, and then pose some reflection questions. The book of Job appears in the Hebrew Bible, aka the Old Testament, just before Psalms. The Tanakh, or Jewish Bible, positions Job near the end among the writings, or in Hebrew, the Ketuvim, which include Psalms, Proverbs, and a number of other books. Many Bible scholars classify the book of Job in the wisdom literature genre, which makes sense considering that there is a chapter that reflects on wisdom in the middle of the book. The book of Job opens by introducing the character Job, who lives in an area called Uz, somewhere east of the land of Israel. He is immensely wealthy, with lots of livestock and 10 children. The book also describes Job as blameless and upright, who makes all sorts of sacrifices to God. Then the book shifts to a scene in heaven, where God is holding a meeting of divine beings, which some folks interpret to be angels, but the original Hebrew doesn't use the word for angel for these divine beings. One of these beings is Ha-Satan, from which we get the name Satan. But Satan literally means the accuser or adversary in Hebrew. The ancient Hebrew version of Satan is more like a prosecuting attorney than the source of all evil. God brags about the man Job, who seems to be God's favorite human, and Ha-Satan responds that Job is only good because he hasn't suffered during his life. Ha-Satan proposes that God allows Ha-Satan to cause Job to really suffer to test how good Job really is. And, wait for it, God approves. What the what? So next thing you know, all of Job's livestock are stolen or killed, and all of Job's children are killed in a terrible storm. And Job's response is a phrase you may have heard before. Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord has given, and the Lord has taken away. And yet despite this tragedy, Job still blesses the name of the Lord. The book returns to the heavenly court with all the divine beings present, and God again brags about Job. Ha-Satan retorts that Job is only good because nothing bad has happened to his body. And again, Ha-Satan proposes that God allows Ha-Satan to suffer physical pain. And guess what? God says yes. Again. So there is Job, having lost all his earthly possessions and family relations, and now he is covered in painful, ugly sores all over his body. Job's wife encourages Job to curse God and die. Yet still, Job refuses any blasphemy. The opening chapters end with 3 of Job's friends joining him in his solemn grief and pain, and they all remain silent for 7 days and 7 nights. But they won't remain silent for long. So that's pretty bonkers, right? I'm sure that you have many questions about all that, but here are a few questions for you to reflect on for now. First, do you see connections between earthly prosperity and moral or spiritual righteousness? Do you think that good things usually happen to good people and that bad things tend to happen to bad people? Or is the real world more chaotic than that? Next, what do you picture when you hear the word or name Satan? How does this picture in your mind match the Ha-Satan in the first 2 chapters of the book of Job? And finally, do you think that God tests people by causing them to suffer? How comfortable are you around suffering people? So there, 5 minutes to make sense of the Bible. I am preaching on the book of Job throughout this month of October at Streetsville United Church on Sunday morning, so check out our YouTube channel for a recording of our worship services. And as you read the Bible for yourself, pay attention to what piques your curiosity. The Spirit often tries to catch our attention through our curiosity. And as always, while it's good to read the Bible by ourselves, we make the most sense of the Bible when we read the Bible together. Peace, friends.